I need a miracle. I need God to move. I need God to move. I need God to move. God, we bless your name in this place. We bless your name in this place. We didn't come for form or fashion. We come to bless your name. We come to give strength where we're weak. In the mighty name of Jesus. Have thy way, God. Have thy way, God. Have thy way, God. Have thy way, God. Tell your neighbor, I need a miracle. I need a miracle. I need a miracle. He must shut that Messiah. He must shut that He must shut that Messiah. If you're a visitor, excuse me, but I need a miracle. I need a miracle. I call it down from heaven. Even now. Even now. God, I need you to heal. I need you to set free. And I need you to deliver. People shut up. I'm tired of my son being sick. I'm tired of him talking to himself. I need you to deliver. I need you to deliver. I'm tired of Big Mama being depressed. I need you to deliver. God, I need you to deliver. I need you to give Joshua the desires of his heart. I need you to make a way for this building. Every time he calls, it's one thing, it's another thing. God, I need you to move. I know we're still standing. I know we're still standing. I know we're still standing. But y'all may just to come here today just to support your pastor because I need a miracle. If you don't need a miracle, pray for your neighbor. If everything is good with you, it ain't nothing that you need God to do. Pray for your neighbor. Oh God, we bless your name. We need to get a posture. We need to get our spirit prepared for the word. Because there is a word. There is a word from the Lord. Prepare our minds even now, God. Prepare our spirits even now, God. Prepare us 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 even now, God.
Yes, Lord. Jesus.
We're preparing the atmosphere.
Yes, Lord. Yes, Lord.
Oh my. Oh my. Oh my. Oh my. Oh my. Oh my. You may be seated in the presence of the Lord. Elder Victoria, if you can play Give Me You. Hallelujah. Why she praying in her language? Because I'm in a war. Ibo Shanded Abasaya. Iba Sanded Abasi. I ain't got time to be cute. Ibo Shanded Abasi. Hallelujah to Jesus.
Give me you. Yes. Everything get in a place in our life where we're calling out to the Lord. And first, we're so broken. First, we need just the presence of God to enter into our life.
Yes.
Sometimes we skip over that and then we begin to ask God for things, but really we need God to come in and restore and empower us first.
Yes.
And some of you may say, well, I don't know what she means. Just keep on living. Keep living. There's going to come a point where you're going to feel so depleted that you're just going to need to feel the presence of the Lord. We have to have a secret place, you all. This is one of the reasons why we come to church, because it's a dedicated time to focus on the Lord. Usually it's hard to focus on the Lord without interruption. So therefore we come together and we gather to focus on the Lord for just a little while. But I encourage you to create a place, just like the Shunammite woman did.
Come on here.
She created a place
You already preached.
for the man of God.
Come on.
And you say, well, that was for him and she was being nice to him. But here's the thing, God works through people.
Come on.
The presence of the Lord operates through people.
Yeah.
And I want, just so that we're clear, I want you to understand that the true anointing of God is tangible. You will be able to feel it. I don't care if you believe in God, don't believe in God. When you get in the presence of the Lord, you begin to feel it. Some people say it's a warm feeling. Some people say peace came over me. Some people say I was just full of joy. Whatever happens to you. But the anointing is real and it's tangible. And I want you to begin to have an expectation for the anointing to flow in your life. If you can't feel it, if you can't sense it, it's not there. If something on the inside of you is not feeling more empowered, the anointing is not present.
Come on now.
How do I know if the anointing is in my house? When I come in, I feel a peace. How do I know the anointing is in my car? Because when I get in and start praying, all of a sudden everything feels all right. My back was hurt when I came to church. Now my body feel all right. That's the oil. The anointing is tangible. You know, you get people to say, oh, the anointing is not feeling happy, and it's not goosebumps, and it's not this, and it's not that. And the thing about it is it manifests and it presents itself different for everybody.
Come on.
So you may feel goosebumps when the anointing comes. You may feel joy in your heart when the anointing comes. You may have came in with a headache and all of a sudden it went away. That's the oil. We have to understand when the presence of the anointing is there. That's the ultimate lesson with the Shunammite woman. She knew where to lay her dead son. She laid him in the bed of the prophet. Why did she go to the bed? She went where the power was. So I ask you, that thing that died in your life, where did you lay it? Did you lay it where there was the power? Or did you lay it in a bed of peace? Did you lay it in a bed of anger? Did you lay it in a bed of resentment? I'm going to lay my dead thing in the bed of power. Because I'm looking for restoration. I'm looking for a full recovery. Where did you lay the dead thing? Go get it and pick it up. You're not going to leave it there. Because there's no power. You got to check the location of the thing that died that matters to you. Where did you lay it? Where did you lay it? Oh, I'm already in the Bible. I don't know if we need to take this from the database because I ain't studying it. He will shine. Where is that dead thing? Did you lay it in the bed of power? Where's my power, Pastor Katrina? This altar. That prayer basket. The room in your house where you pray. Lay the dead thing that matters to you in a location of power. Not pity, not anger, not resentment, not woe is me. The woman laid her son where the prophet lay. And remember I told you that Elisha got a double portion of Elijah. So she laid it in a double portion portion of power. We're not talking about dead stuff that we want dead. I'm talking about the dead things that you want restored. Well, but she didn't even ask for that stuff. The prophet come messing with her, talking about, what can I do for you? What can I do for you?
That's the word.
Can I talk to the people in charge and tell them how wonderful? She said, no, I'm already there. I already have influence. I already got money. But let me share something with you. Your money and your influence ain't gonna always come. You say, I didn't ask for that husband. God gave it to me. Then he all of a sudden went away. See, it hurts more when God gives you something and the enemy snatches it. You say, I didn't ask for that business, and now we going bankrupt. God led me into that situation. Now we going bankrupt. God led me. He led me. I said, God, you gave me Joshua Wallace. Do not forsake the work of thy hands. Do not forsake the work of thy hands.
Jesus.
Where did you lay the dead thing? You thought you was going to get better, but you went back to the doctor and you still sick. Your hope to get better has died. Your hope to get married has died. Your hope to have your business has died. Where did you lay the dead? Go get it. And put it in a place right. Go pick it up.
Jesus.
And we're looking for somebody else to do something for us. They had workers. She had a husband. But it said she laid her son. What you gonna do? She laid her son in the bed of the prophet. And then she got on the donkey. She didn't send her servant. She didn't send her husband. Come on, go get the prophet. She said, I must go. You gotta get up and go. She said, I must go. And she told the man, she said, look, you better go and you better go fast. Don't stop. Because I'm going to the prophet. Oh, I'm already in the Bible. She said, I'm going to the prophet. When the prophet saw her afar, he sent his servant. And said, oh, go tell her all is well. Go take my staff and lay it across her son. See, sometimes we think it takes this, but it's going to take that. Sometimes we get so caught up in our own intellect. You know, Elijah just thought, oh, yeah, we'll take care of this. You know, I'll just give you my staff and you'll just go and lay it on her son and everything going to be all right. But we have to be open to the Holy Spirit. What worked last time may not work this time.
You gotta preach.
But the Shunammite woman didn't take no for an answer.
Come on.
She didn't take no for an answer.
She sure did.
She was like, you go. See, when God gives you something, you got to stick with it. You can't give up because other people don't have a full understanding. He was the one that God was getting ready to use, and he didn't have a full understanding. So you got to pull everybody in through the word. If your boss don't know you great, you say, God, I send the word right now. Open up their minds so they can hear the word that people. He don't know no better. She don't know no better. Loose here. The prophet didn't know no better, but she did. She said, oh, you must come. Just because people don't know no better don't mean that you can't use them. That the Lord can't use them. You said, well, if it was God, then they would know. No. God gave it to you. And he expects you to pull in everything that's necessary. He wants you to pull in everything that's necessary for your restoration. Let's read the Bible. For the Facebook people say, she ain't no preach. She ain't no Bible. Oh, my God. Verse 19, chapter 4, 2 Kings. And he said to his father, my head. So So he said to a servant, carry him to his mother. When he had taken him and brought him to his mother, he sat on her knee to noon. So she did all she could. It wasn't that she was sitting down on the activity. She did what she could. But he still died. So after you've done all you could, you don't lay that thing in a pity party bed. You don't lay that thing in the, oh, forget it, I don't care, I'm mad at the world bed. Once she did all that she could do, she ate him in the bed of She put him in the bed where the prophet lied. Now some of y'all ain't got no bed of power because you never created a place for the Lord. So y'all gonna have to listen to this later when it's applicable to you. Because first you got to create a place. If you have no place, you have nowhere to lay your dead thing. So if you don't have nowhere to lay your dead thing, I need you to get on Piece of Faith, the thing on the Facebook, and go ahead and listen to it later. But you got to create a place of power first. It was her hospitality towards the prophet that made him want to bless her. She didn't create that place because she wanted something. She created that place because she saw the anointing on him. So you create the place not because you're looking for God to do A, B, and C. You create that place because he's God and he's all powerful. I don't care how good your life is going. Get a place in your home that ain't nothing but prayer and worship. You need a sanctified place. So that when your heart is broken, you can go and lay that dead thing. And say, Abba, Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Abba, Father. But if you haven't created a place, when the thing dies, where shall you put it? Where will you put it if you have no place of power? And the thing about the Shunammite woman is she was following the Holy Spirit. She didn't even know she was going to have a son. She didn't even know that was going to happen. So when I tell you, you think you know everything, but you don't. When God unctions you to do something kind, you better do it. Because you put the seed in the ground. And he really didn't know who she was, because if he knew who she was for real, he would have been asking her, you need me to speak on your behalf. He would have known that she was an influential woman and she was a woman of wealth. He would have known that. But even people of wealth and people of influence need help. Go get your help. And you got to ask yourself, where did I lay my dead thing? In a bed of disappointment? A bed of bitterness? A bed I'm through with everybody, I don't need nobody. A bed of anxiety, a bed of depression. You must lay the dead thing in a bed of power in order to get full restoration.
Thank you, Lord.
Amen.
So she did all she could do and the son died.
Ooh.
And she went up and laid him on the bed of the man of God, shut the door upon him, and went out. Now here's the thing, this is where we get caught up. Because she could have said, well, you go ahead and go serve it, while I stay with my son. But once she laid her dead son in the bed of the prophet, she had to know that it was well. So that she could go on to the next phase. See, sometimes we get stuck. Because we're too afraid to move forward. She could have been afraid to leave her son. But she knew that she had laid him in a good place. So if you put your children on the altar and give them back to the Lord, they're in a good place. So go ahead and study that stuff for your job. Go ahead and be great. Go ahead and go on a marriage retreat and feed your ministry, feed marriage. Go ahead and do some other things. Once you lay that thing in the proper place. She didn't ask nobody to look over because it was the power of God. And it reminded me of Paul. And it talks about how Paul, and let me get the scripture. Acts 19. 11 and 12, it said, God did extraordinary miracles through Paul, so that even handkerchiefs and aprons that had touched him were taken to the sick, and their illnesses were cured, and the evil spirits left them.
Yes, Lord.
You have to understand that when a person is walking in the power of God, and you have sanctified a certain place, that area is holy.
Yes.
And the reason why the handkerchief, it was an extension of the power of God that Paul was carrying.
Yes.
So my point to you is, who are you connected to with some power?
Yeah.
Are you connected to anybody with some power? Because we know that the Shunammite woman had money. We know that she had influence, but she needs to be connected with someone. It didn't say that God came down. It didn't say Jesus came down from heaven. He used somebody that was here on earth. He used the prophet.
Come on, come on.
So who are you connected to in the natural that got some power?
Come on.
Who are you connected to that you can go and say, pray with me?
Yes.
Pray with me.
Yes.
If you don't have anybody, you gotta get you an Elisha. Because it's gonna come a time where the thing is going to die and you're gonna need some help.
Right. That's the word.
Not only do you have to prepare a place of holiness, you have to connect with people of power.
Yes.
See, we're looking for a recovery and we're not prepared. You got to prepare before you need it. She created the room and she didn't even know nothing about no son.
Come on.
We're like, why I gotta do that? Just do it.
Yes.
I beg you.
Amen.
Why she telling me? I'm telling you.
Yes.
It's going to come a time that you're going to need that holy place.
Yes. Yes.
Where did you lay it? Where did you lay that dead thing? My God. My God, my God, my God. Let's read a little bit more. So when he saw her, when Elisha saw her, verse 26, it says, please run now to meet her and say to her, it is well with you. Is it well with your husband? Is it well with your child? And she answered it. And she answered, it is well. So she was speaking things that be not as though they were.
Yes.
Now when she came to the man of God at the hill, she caught him by the feet. But Gehazi came near to push her away. But the man of God said, let her alone, for her soul is in deep distress. And the Lord has hidden it from me and has not told me. This is why y'all got to speak things that be not as though they were. Speak it over your children. Speak it over your husband, your wife. Sometimes they know not of. It was not until that very moment that he realized something else was going on that he knew not of. The child had already died. She had already laid the child in the bed where he lay. She had to push past his servant. Then all of a sudden a light bulb went off. He said, oh, something else is going on. So just because your boss don't see it, I don't know why I keep saying that. Just because your boss don't see your work doesn't mean that the light bulb is not going to go on. You gotta petition the Lord. You gotta do what's right, so that when the light bulb goes on, you'll be in position. Just because your husband or your wife, just because you're not well now doesn't mean God is not going to heal you. Just because everything is not everything now doesn't mean that God is not going to make a way. It's other people that he needs to reveal that something is wrong and something needs to change. But my question to you, what you gonna do? She was right there. She didn't want her husband to tell her story. She didn't want the servant to tell her story. She went to the prophet. You gotta go to God yourself and tell him about your story. Tell him what's going on. So she said, he said, leave her alone. The Lord has hidden it from me and has not told me. So she said, did I ask, son of my Lord? Did I say, do not deceive me? So this is her natural man coming up now, because she's like, look, I told you, you gave me this son, now, Now he did. So God knows that we have our human side.
Come on here.
When she got to the man of God, she was like, now look at here. Why in the world
Come on.
did you speak this child into existence and now
Now.
he's dead?
Come on.
I know y'all may not talk to God like that, but I do. I said, God, why? Would you allow this and this and this to happen to me? Why, God? Why, God? Am I the only one?
Come on.
Why would you let me get married and then he go away? Why would you let me get this job and then I get sick? Why would you let me open this business and then we go bankrupt? Why, God? Why? Why would you give me these children and they act a fool? That's my number one. Just act a fool. I said, God, why? Why, God? There's nothing wrong with asking why. There's nothing wrong. Then he said to Gehazi, get yourself ready and take my staff in your hand. And he still wasn't fully on board. He still didn't know what was going on. Now he's going to send his servant. He said, take my staff in your hand and be, I'm verse 29, be on your way. If you meet anyone, do not greet him. And if anyone greets you, do not answer him, but lay my staff on the face of the child. And let me explain something to you. You need to tell him this is important and you need to be very focused. So I'm going to say to you, stop texting, get off your Facebook and all this other stuff because this is important. You're not acting funny, you're trying to focus. And you really want your business to be restored, you really want your marriage to be restored, you really want your body to be restored and be healed. You got to cut out all distractions. You got to take some days of the week where it's just you and God. You ain't talking to nobody about nothing. Send the word and keep it moving. Because it's serious.
That's right. Yeah, Lord.
Let's not forget about our assignment. We got to create a holy place. A place where we can go worship and pray. Not eat popcorn and chewing gum. I'm talking about no eating, no drinking. You can't play worship music and then rap music in the same environment.
Jesus.
I said holy. You need a place of purity. It may just be a little corner. And I'm going to tell y'all, stop letting everything go off on TV and in music all in y'all house like that.
That's right. That's right.
Sometimes y'all not even really listening to that stuff, and you just letting it blast and letting it play. And it's working against you. Y'all need to watch what y'all kids watching. These movies and all this different stuff. Y'all got to watch that because it's changing the environment in your home. It's weakening the presence of God. The enemy is slick.
Yes, he is.
In verse 30 said, and the mother of the child said, as the Lord lives, and as your soul lives, I will not leave you. So he arose and followed her. So basically she said, I got what you're saying, but I'm not going without you. And we need to get committed and say, I'm not going anywhere else without the presence of God. I'm not going anywhere else without the power of God. I'm not going anywhere else without seeking God. I'm not going anywhere else without a purified worship to invite God in. I ain't going nowhere without you. Elisha was the tangible presence of the Lord. And she wasn't going to go. She wasn't going to go. And as the story goes on, again, it's a couple of points I want to make. Number one, you have to ask yourself, where did you lay the dead thing? The thing that died, where did you lay it? Check its location. Make sure you laid it in a place of power. The other thing is your influence and your finances and all of your success can only take you so far. You will need help And when you need help, you need to make sure that you're connecting with people of power. Right. So you need to cultivate relationships and cultivate your relationship with God personally so that you will be able to see, you'll be able to hear, and you'll be able to know what God is saying and what God is doing. And you cannot expect a full restoration without preparation.
Amen.
She got up and she went to go see the prophet. So I need you to get up and go be about your Father's business. But know, the last point, know that when you get involved in this process, when Elisha the prophet got there, he went up there, he laid across the child. But it didn't do it. He laid across the child again and the child got warm. But the child still had no life. Right. So I'm here to tell you your last point. It's going to take more than you had anticipated. Yeah. If you think it's going to take you 4 hours to do this assignment, it may take you 8. It's going to take more than you anticipated. The man of God finally went with her. Then when he came, he went up to where he lay and laid across the child and thought the child was going to come back. And the Bible tells you he was pacing the floor. Pleading with God. Come on. It took more out of him than he had anticipated. Now this is the anointed one. So imagine what we got to do. This is the anointed one. This is the one that spoke the child into existence. This is the one. And it took more than he anticipated. They said he walked the floor. Then he went up a third time.
That's the word.
And laid across the child. We can't give up so easy. We try it once or twice and then we give up. Don't give up. Don't give in. And don't give out. I said, now if the anointed one had to take 3 times. Fire. How long is it going to take me? Strengthen thy servant. Because I'm not going to give up. I'm not going to give in. And I'm not going to give out.
Yes, Lord.
First he sent his servant, talking about something, go ahead and go. Take my staff. Before that, he didn't even realize it was that deep. So he started distressing her.
Come on.
Now this is the anointed one. We put so much pressure on ourselves to have all the answers. To know. And the anointed one had to be schooled by the Shunammite woman. She said, no. You come with me. And once he complied, he showed up and it still took more out of him. That promotion is going to take more out of you. Your deliverance, whatever you're doing for your deliverance, it's addiction in this room, it's depression in this room, whatever you've been doing, it's going to take much more than that. You see you ain't healed. You see you ain't set free. You still want to get high. You still want to do this. You still want to do that. You're not delivered. It's going to take more of you. It don't mean God ain't real. It don't mean God ain't going to do it. It's going to take more of you. He was scared. He was praying. He was like, my God. Rise him up. Raise 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 him up. He prayed to the Lord. Are you praying to God?
Yes, God. My God.
Heal me, heal me, heal me.
Yes, Lord. Yes, Lord. Yes,
Are
Lord.
you praising the Lord? Set me free, set me free, set me free.
Yes, God.
Lord.
I'm the Father.
Yes,
I need you to open up doors, open up doors, open up doors. It's going to take more than you anticipate.
Yes, Lord.
He had to lay on the child 3 times. The man of God. The very anointing that preserved the child.
Yes, yes.
It had to take 3 times that to bring the child back to life. So what is preserving you to help you exist and get up and go to work? The anointing and the power of God that allows you to get up and just exist, it's going to take 3 to 4 times more than that for you to get really delivered.
Oh, my. Jesus. Help us.
It's it's going to take more than that. It ain't about no jump on one leg and all this other crap. You got to